We're into the last part of the transfer show already. Can't believe it. All right, we're going to go back to Chelsea. We've spoken about the bomb squad, which isn't a bomb squad, James. So who is on their way out?
There's a number of players who are now discussing exits, whether it be permanent or on loan. Really interesting deal potentially occurring between Crystal Palace and Chelsea. They've done a lot of deals over the course of the last few seasons. Maxence Dequart has gone to Chelsea. Axel Disasi could be going to Crystal Palace on a straight loan. There's discussions ongoing there. We know there's interest in Enzo Fernandez from Man City. Tosin, as part of the players, aren't training with the group right now. He's been relegated when it comes to his squad number as well. It was number 4. It's now 30-something. We know there's interest from clubs across Europe in him. Spurs do have an interest in Pedro Neto if they don't get the 2 players from Manchester City or Cody Gakpo as well. Benoit Badiashile set to join Napoli. Liam Delap, we know there's potential interest in him, maybe not at the asking price of £50 million. Nicholas Jackson looks to be a player of interest as well. £65 million is his valuation, which I think, looking at the valuation of players Chelsea have put on their players, that one seems relatively something that I think clubs could get towards.
James just mentioned Liam Delap there. He's been linked with Everton. Good move for him to stay in the Premier League if that happens?
I think Liam Delap needs to be a club where he's going to get game time and show what he's about. He only scored a couple of goals for Chelsea last year in, I think, 41 appearances.
Yeah, 2 goals.
I've watched him, been aware of him since he was at Manchester City. You're probably the same. Someone with huge promise, a lot of expectation, had a number of loans in the EFL that didn't really work out, came alive at Ipswich. Injury problems have really cost him at Chelsea, I feel. But there's an absolute superstar of a player in there. There's real potential in there. I think he brings something a bit different. He reminds me of an old school centre forward. He's aggressive, he's bullish, he can hold the ball up, he causes problems for the centre halves, he'll nick goals. He just needs to be in the right team with the right wingers around him, and then he'll flourish. He's still only young as well. When you're at Chelsea, the expectation is there. You've got to deliver, because people say, well, we want a centre forward that's going to get 20, 25 goals a season minimum. That's what you do. That's what Costa did, that's what Drogba did. That's the remit here. He's not been able to do that. But I certainly think he could be an asset for a side like Everton. We know that there are potentially 2 or 3 other Premier League sides that are just monitoring the situation. He's definitely a name to watch between now and September the 1st.
Absolutely. But let's start at Chelsea and the transfer story that's just completely dominated this summer, Enzo Fernandez. Well, today, Xabi Alonso said the midfielder is focused and training well as Chelsea prepare for their Premier League opener at Fulham on Monday. Now, the deadline for Manchester City and other clubs passed almost a week ago, but there is still talk of a move away from Stamford Bridge for the player.
Enzo is Chelsea player. He's a top player. He's training really well since he started 10 days ago with the team, very integrated, and we are happy with him, and he's getting ready for Monday.
Has he told you that he wants to stay at Chelsea?
No, he's training really well, and I see him really good attitude, and that's what we want, that everyone is trying his best and to prepare for the kick-off of the Premier League.
You'd have noticed that was James Savundra asking the questions there. So, James Savundra, do you get the feeling that he's staying?
I get the feeling that this saga isn't over just yet. This time last week, we were getting strong inclination that this 5 p.m. deadline, that was going to be it. If Man City or other clubs didn't reach that amount of money, £120 million by 5 o'clock, that would be the end of this saga. We put to bed until next summer. But since then, you've still got a situation where Man City aren't ruling out going in for a bid for Enzo Fernandez. I don't think they really took that deadline hugely seriously. And at the same time, Chelsea and the language they've been using, there's an expectation that Enzo will stay, but there's no guarantee. Today I asked Xabi Alonso twice, and he had the opportunity twice to put this to bed and say, he's our player, he's a top player, he's a World Cup winner, he's got 6 years left in his contract, he's a massive part of my plans. The fact he didn't do so means that we're still in a situation where we're discussing this, and there is still possibility that he leaves. Now, we know Chelsea have got 2 training groups at this moment in time. There's players that are surplus to requirements, players who may get moves away this summer. The likes of Nicholas Jackson, Liam Delap have been training separate to the main group, not in a bomb squad, but separate to the main group. But I was there today at Chelsea's training session. Enzo Fernandez was a massive part of that training session. I think Chelsea are planning for him to be involved in the game on Monday, but they can't offer any guarantees, because clearly if a club does come in, like Manchester City, with £120 million or more, that might not be what Chelsea are looking for now that the deadline that they created has gone, then there's still a possibility he leaves in this window.
I wonder how Fernandez is feeling, given that part of the Chelsea support booed him the other day. I mean, do you think he wants out of there?
It's a really interesting situation, because it was quite conflicted at Stamford Bridge on Saturday from those I've spoken to who were at the game, because you had an equal proportion of fans booing, an equal proportion of fans singing and chanting his name, and actually at the same time, he was given the captain's armband, and he is still seen as part of Chelsea's leadership group. So I think he'll be in a strange situation because I think he was clearly frustrated when Enzo Maresca departed and the way Chelsea's season fell apart. He actually had a brilliant season and really has added goals to his game as well. But I think he'll be feeling that maybe he was punished unfairly, getting a 2-match suspension and being singled out when he was at the start of this year, when he spoke about Madrid being a great city. And then this summer, we've seen Real Madrid release a statement. I think that would have been a dream move for him. Whether or not Man City would be a dream move, perhaps it would be a dream to link up with Enzo Maresca. He had a really good relationship with a number of players, including Marco Correa and Enzo Fernandez as well. But I still think if he remains at Chelsea, I think he'll give absolutely everything to the shirt. There are some fans who absolutely love him, regardless of what he said, regardless of the fact that he's not put the matter to bed himself. He could easily have gone on Instagram, put out a post being like, I'm here to stay at Chelsea, this is my club, excited for this new era under Xabi Alonso. He's not done so. So it feels like everybody is playing games at the moment, and that is why there is still speculation and there is still a chance, no matter how big, that he does leave in this window.
What do you think, Mark? What's best for Chelsea? He goes or he stays?
I think Xabi Alonso would absolutely love to keep a player of his quality, calibre, experience, passion and desire in that Chelsea squad. He brings bite. He was a top player at the World Cup. He plays for Argentina. He is someone that is absolutely at the best part of his career. He brings so much, and I think that is going to be key. But ultimately, as we've seen from Chelsea, there are so many business decisions that are made with regards to the players that they bring in and sell. And if the right money is put on the table at the right time, I think there's every chance, as James said, he will go. He joined the club in January 2023. He brings so much that perhaps they don't have. And I think it's that tenacity, that aggression, that passion, that bite through midfield that I think is going to be key for Xabi Alonso. And when you go into a new club, you want players that you can rely on. You want players that have been there for a number of years and understand the fabric of the football club and what it's about to play for Chelsea. And he's certainly one of those that gets it. Let's be honest, Chelsea invested over £100 million in him. They're not going to want to sell him on the cheap. They're going to say, this is an Argentina international at 25 years old, in the prime of his career. He is worth top dollar. And if you want him, that's what you've got to pay.
Well, we're led to understand that Manchester City want him or wanted him.
Every day, in each game. So he has this focus and this desire to have a great season, scoring goals but helping the team. And I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with his personality as well. And now we need to help him reaching his goals.
You've made a number of signings this summer already. Are you happy with the squad you have, or do you think there could be more additions?
No, I'm really happy. I think that we have made many right choices, very good balance in terms of quality, in terms of personality, maturity, different stages of the career with good momentum, and we are in a good position, I would say.
There's been a lot of speculation, as you'll know, about Enzo Fernandez in this transfer window. Will he still be a Chelsea player on deadline day?
Enzo is Chelsea player. He's a top player. He's training really well since he started 10 days ago with the team, very integrated, and we are happy with him, and he's getting ready for Monday.
Has he told you that he wants to stay at Chelsea?
No, he's training really well, and I see him really with good attitude, and that's what we want, that everyone is trying his best and to prepare for the kickoff of the Premier League.
There are around 40 senior players at the club right now. Can you talk us through the thinking between splitting the players into different groups and what that means for the players that aren't involved in the main group?
No, we have
Chelsea are heading into the new season with Xabi Alonso facing one of the biggest squad decisions of his early
dynamics,
reign. The club have already spent heavily, but the real drama could now come from the players leaving Stamford Bridge.
And finally, Danny Welbeck was training
Nicolas
on his
Jackson,
own today.
Liam Delap
Latest
and
with
even
him?
Pedro
Could he be
Neto
involved
have
on
all been
Monday?
linked with possible exits, while
he just
Chelsea
need a
continue
couple
to
of
assess a
days,
squad that has
not
become
training that
extremely
much because
large.
of a little thing, but
For me,
we are
Alonso's
expecting
biggest
to be back
challenge
on
is not simply
Saturday.
signing
We
more
need to go
players,
day by day,
but deciding who
that's the plan at the
genuinely
moment.
fits his football and who
Thanks,
needs to
James.
go.
John?
The Enzo Fernandez situation is another huge storyline. Manchester City's interest created serious uncertainty, but Chelsea are now expecting Enzo to remain after City failed to meet the club's deadline. Alonso has also refused to completely close the door on the midfielder's future, which keeps the situation interesting. Personally, I believe Chelsea should keep Enzo.
To have a great
He
year.
is one of the few players in this squad who can control games from midfield, and selling him would create another major problem just when Alonso is trying to establish his identity. Then there is the attack, and this is where things get really interesting. Nicolas Jackson and Liam Delap are reportedly among the players who could leave, while Pedro Neto is attracting serious interest as well. If Chelsea actually allow several of these forwards to leave, Alonso will have to trust João Pedro and the other attacking options to carry the responsibility. I understand the logic because Chelsea need to reduce the squad, but selling too many attacking players at once could leave Alonso with another imbalance. And this is my biggest concern. Chelsea cannot keep buying expensive players and then constantly reshuffle the squad every summer. Alonso needs a clear group of players he trusts, a settled system and enough quality to compete. The talent is obviously there, but the squad needs direction. In my opinion, the next few weeks are less about Chelsea making another huge signing and more about Alonso deciding who stays, who goes, and which players are actually going to be part of his long-term project. If he gets those decisions right, Chelsea could look completely different this season.